Welcome back to the Lone Road iRacers podcast with me, your host, Guy Robertson. And today, as you can see, we're getting a little bit festive. Diving into a festive topic that's perfect for the season. Christmas gifts for the iRacer in your life, or maybe for yourself. Whether you're a newbie just setting up your first rig, a seasoned veteran fine-tuning your system, or someone shopping for the sim racer who seems to have it all, I've got you covered. We'll look at what's new on the market, staple items every iRacer needs, and gift ideas for every budget. Let's get into it. Let's start with our newcomers. If you're just getting into iRacing, it can be a bit daunting. What do you need to buy? And Christmas is an opportunity for the budding iRacer to buy something for themselves, or potentially sneak a few "I'd love this for Christmas" to parents, friends, relatives, girlfriends, wives, etc. So if you're just getting into iRacing or buying for someone who is, there are a few essentials to get you started. You need a solid starter wheel and pedals. For beginners, a good starting point is the Logitech G923 or the Thrustmaster T248. Now, for people on the audio-only podcast, I will be putting up some screenshots of these products during the podcast, and I'm not sponsored by any of these at all. Both are user-friendly, reliable, and offer force feedback to give you a feel for the road. So the Logitech G923 is around £300 or $400. The Thrustmaster T248 slightly cheaper at around £250 or $350. These wheels are widely available whether you're in the USA, Europe, or UK. And they're compatible with both PC and consoles, making them versatile because you can actually switch. Now, I started with a Logitech, no issues with it, it's belt driven, and that got me to A-class, folks. So you don't need to go and spend the earth to make your way up the license ladder. Now, I'm sat here in my sim racing cockpit. You do not need a cockpit either to start. I just started on a chair with a single curved screen. Anyway, a cockpit. So a sturdy cockpit can make a world of difference, even for beginners. Consider the playseat challenge, for example. Well, why a playseat? It's foldable, it's compact, and it's great for those short on space. Playseat challenge, and you'll see it pop up. Around £200 or $250. And like you said, if you're just starting out, you don't know if you're really going to get into iRacing yet, it's a cheap, affordable way of not taking too much space, hiding it away afterwards, and you're not breaking the bank. If you're more into a DIY, a gift card for materials to build your own rig could be a creative option. And if you look around places like Etsy, you can also purchase a cutting list or an assembly and cutting list to help you do it yourself. Now, as you can see, you need to be able to hear what is going off on iRacing and the chat, etc. So you need some kind of headphones or speakers. Most of us use headphones with some kind of microphone. Audio immersion is often overlooked, but crucial for the sim racing experience. Look into the SteelSeries Artist 7 wireless headset for top-notch audio clarity. The SteelSeries Arctis 7 is around £150 to $200. Now we're going to move on now to our veterans or our more experienced iRacers. We're going to shift gear. So those racers who have been lapping the virtual tracks for years and are likely already have the basics. So what do you get or what do you want for yourselves? So for an experienced iRacer, upgrading to a direct drive wheel can be a game changer. Popular models include the Fanatec CSL-DD, or probably not in the last 18 months, but they're slowly making a comeback, or the SimCube 2 Sport. Now, I use the Fanatec CSL-DD, the 8N versions, but I'm suggesting for the veteran a 5N version, around 450 UK pounds to $500. SimiCube 2 Sport is a higher end option at about 1,300 UK pounds or $1,500. And what about high-end panels? So pedals, sorry. Must have had too much Christmas spirit. Precision pedals can make a big difference in lap times. The Huskenveld Sprint pedals are a favourite amongst serious racers. Huskenveld Sprint pedals, the 3-pedal set, go for around £800 or $900. Now, I've seen Huskenveld Sprints, and clearly there's one on the YouTube channel. You're looking at it now. I've not used one at all, though. So I'm using Fanatec Club Sport V3s, and for me, they work perfectly. So I would also suggest those as well. I've had no issues with those whatsoever. Triple monitor or VR. For a better immersion, consider a triple monitor setup or virtual reality. Triple monitors, such as the MSI 27-inch gaming monitors, are around £700 to £900 or $900 to $1,200 for a set. The MetaQuest 3 VR headset for the virtual reality enthusiasts goes for around £500 or $500. Now we're going to take a quick look at what is new on the market, folks. So this year there's been some amazing new exciting products that any iRacer would love under the tree. What about the Moser R12 direct drive wheelbase? Moser has been making waves in the market and in the community with their direct drive wheelbases, and the R12 is a powerful mid-range option. So as you can see on the screen, it looks quite a sexy direct drive as well, a bit smoky. Moser R12 goes around at £850 to about $1,000. Then there's the Acertec Invicta Sim Racing pedals. Acertec has entered the market with a premium set of pedals that feel incredibly realistic. The Acertec Invicta pedals are going for around £750 or $850. Something most iRacers have or need is a customizable button box. Now personally, I just use my Stream Deck for anything that I would want to do during iRacing, and honestly there's not a lot. I've got all my buttons mapped on my steering wheel. But for people who like and love tinkering, a button box is a fantastic gift. The new Proto SimTech button box offers excellent customization. Now, unfortunately, I couldn't find a picture of a specific Proto SimTech version, so that's just a general picture of a button box. Protec Sim button box starting around £250 to $300. Now, there's a few staples that every iRacer needs, and we're going to start with these things. iRacing gloves or racing gloves. Racing gloves protect your wheel and enhance grip. Well, for me, they just do more than that. I was getting quite a few calluses, sores, lumps of hard spots of skin on my hands before my son brought me these. And since I've been wearing these, even though I felt a little bit the fidelity or the touch and feel of your steering wheel with my hands was slightly different, I've got used to them pretty quickly. So I would definitely recommend some gloves. Brands like Sparco and Alpine Stars have great options. The Sparco ones on the screens are the Hyper Grip gloves that go for around £50 or $60. iRacing shoes. Now, I just use a general pair of trainers that are totally ruined now, and I need some new ones. But if you're serious about control and comfort, a good pair of sim racing shoes is a must. Sim racing shoes like the OMP KS-1 on the screen are around £60 to $70, and they look quite wicked, to be fair. I wouldn't go out with them on a nightclub though, you look a bit daft. Subscription renewal, and of course don't forget the gift of more iRacing time. A subscription renewal or an upgrade to a yearly plan is a perfect stocking stuffer. We've just finished the Black Friday event as well for iRacing, where if you're an existing subscriber, you can get a discount. If you're a newbie, you get, I think it was 50% off, so some bargains to be had. So iRacing subscriptions go from a minimum of £10 or $13 up to £90 or $10 for iRacing subscription renewals. Now, we've also got to think about Christmas as well. Cash is being spread around, so we're going to look at some budget-friendly ideas. Custom gifts. Get them a custom and livery for their favourite car. Prices start around £20 to £25. Now, you can make them driver specific, or if you don't want to spend any money, just go on to Trading Paints and you'll find thousands of liveries for every car that's on iRacing. iRacing credits. So these can be used to purchase tracks, cars or content upgrades. Available in £10, $10 increments, and you can spend whatever you want. What about books and guides? Now, a sim racing guide or a motorsport history book is always appreciated. Is your budding iRacer or yourself into a specific F1 driver like Ayrton Senna, for example? Maybe you get there's plenty of books out there. But what about iRacing setups as well? I'm sure there's some books out there for the iRacer with how to do setups. And they can go from anywhere from £15 to $20. So, there you have it, folks. The ultimate iRacers Christmas gift guide. Whether you're buying for a newbie, a veteran or yourself, there's something for every sim racer and every budget. Remember, it's not just about the gear though, it's about enhancing the experience and keeping the passion for racing alive. So we'll be back in a minute for our second subject today. I thought we'd finish the podcast with a look at iRacing for 2025. We've already had the launch of the new season and all the new goodies last week or this week with week 13/14. So we've got the new cars, we've got the new tracks, we've got the new debris refresh system, etc, etc. But what else could be coming to us, the iRacers and iRacing, in 2025? So we know Tempest was launched a few seasons ago now, and they're still tweaking it. So there could be some microclimates like there is on Spa, maybe in Lebanon as well, even in the valleys there. So, and especially the Nürburgring, where you could have sunny one side of the track and rain in the other side. So that's something that iRacing may or may not be working on. A couple of podcasts ago, I talked specifically around the iRacing collaboration with Microsoft and what that could be bringing from an AI point of view. But we know AI has been a game changer for everything around the globe. But for practicing offline and owning your skills in iRacing, there's still probably a little room for growth. In 2025, we might see AI become even more smarter and more adaptive, helping you with racecraft. So AI could better understand you and how you're performing in race situations, from defending a position to timing an overtake, for example. AI competitors that adapt mid-race based on your performance could also provide a more challenging and realistic experience. And finally, how about creating your own AI opponents with unique skill sets and tendencies? So could you program it to perform like Max Verstappen, Lewis Hamilton, etc, etc. And even bygone racers, in the past as well, Ayrton Senna, Schumacher and people like that. Who knows where I could take it in 2025. Now, what about continued vehicle and track editions? So iRacing's bread and butter is its ever-growing library of cars and tracks, and 2025 could be a banner year. The community has been quite vocal about wanting more variety, without really losing race participation. So hypercars, the Le Mans Hypercar LMH and the Le Mans Daytona Hybrid LMDH classes, they're gaining traction globally, meaning iRacing may expand its endurance racing roster. But what about some classic cars as well? Now, I've always opted on about getting a Mini Cooper or a Mini of some sort into iRacing. It's still not there, but could it come out in 2025? Who knows? But what about some other iconic cars like the Ferrari F40 LM or the Porsche 917? They could both appeal to iRacers and iRacing collectors outside of the sim as well. Then we talk about new tracks. We're still missing Kyalami. What about Pukekohe Park Raceway? Just two for example. What about Anglesey in the UK? There's lots of new tracks just been done by Anglesey, but there's still potential a lot more. Now, what about community-driven features? The iRacing community has always played a huge role in shaping the sim. That's what we're here to give feedback. And 2025 might see some long requested features finally make it to the sim. Better league tools. So league racing is the backbone of iRacing's multiplayer scene. Improved league management tools such as automated stewarding systems, live or advanced point systems could streamline operations for admins and make leagues even more engaging. What about enhanced replay and streaming options? There's potentially loads of opportunities there. Content creation is booming, and better in-sim tools for replays and broadcasting could elevate streams and highlight reels. Imagine customizable camera angles, for example, improved overlays, and even line commentary tools integrated into the sim. Also, what about considering cross-platform support? Now, iRacing, as we know, is already working on some console games, so whether or not you could have cross-platform in the future all depends on its functionality and how that would integrate with iRacing. But there's a potential other opportunity there to expand the users of iRacing in the sim even more. Then we will just want to touch base on immersion and accessibility. VR and motion rig integration. With the rise of VR headsets like the Meta Quest 3, iRacing could continue optimizing its VR support. Imagine pairing this with better motion rig compatibility for an unparalleled immersive experience. Basically being in the rig and being thrown about. Now, my rig's pretty fixed and I did VR and got motion sickness pretty quick, so I'm not sure I'd like to be thrown about, but it's not for me, but it might be for you. Making the sim more accessible to players with disabilities could also be a focus. Features like customizable control schemes, voice commands and visual aids could help more people join the sim racing community. And what about audio? Dynamic audio environments could take things up a notch. Imagine hearing the roar of the engines reverberating off grandstands or the supple hum of rain hitting your windshield in surround sound. Well, we're definitely not hearing rain all the while hitting the windscreen, definitely not the visor anyway in the open wheels. So to summarise folks, 2025 is shaping up to be an incredible year for iRacing, with advancements still coming for the weather system no doubt, smarter AIs, brand new cars still that we don't even consider and tracks, and community driven features. The future of the sim has never looked brighter. Whether you're a casual racer or a dedicated league competitor, iRacing is proving its commitment to staying at the forefront of the sim racing world. So I just want to thank you for joining me all year again on the podcast in 2024 and going into 2025. I'd love to hear your thoughts, what features you're most excited about and what is on your Christmas wish list for the coming year. Drop me a message or an email and let's keep that conversation going. This has been the Lone Road iRacers podcast. I'm your host, Guy Robertson, and as always, I'll see you on the track in 2025 Season 1.